Bring your own device. Is it worth it? Considering the benefits and challenges within 21st century classrooms. Media Production, ETEC 531 by Gurpreet Kuner. This quote by John Dewey summarizes one of the challenges educators face today. That is, today's students are not the same learners that we were 5, 10, or even 15 years ago. These digital natives have grown up surrounded by technology as a natural part of their everyday lives. Today's students are digital natives living in a multimedia world. They have access to information that is live, and they have the ability to instantly connect with the world. They demand creativity and learn the best from inquiry as well as trial and error. What should 21st century learning look like? Today's education system is evolving to take full advantage of the potential of mobile technology devices to inspire learning and create independent critical thinkers. However, with tight budgets, many schools are hoping to bring technology into the classroom without the costly burden of purchasing a device for each student. One potential solution that is being explored is BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device. Bring Your Own Device refers to students bringing a personally owned device to school for educational purposes. This personally owned device can be a form of technology, which is owned by the student or student's family. As wireless technology or Wi-Fi becomes installed in schools across the globe, teachers are beginning to incorporate more digital resources into their curriculum. Ways to implement BYOD in the classroom. Students may use devices in the primary classes for vocabulary development, accessing websites, online manipulatives, photography, and video creations, as well as curriculum-based games or apps. For junior grades, students may use the devices to access websites, create and edit document presentations, wikis, blogs, calculations, maps, video conferencing, or polling. In addition to these activities, middle school students may use devices for note-taking, project enhancement, for a planner or calendar, online simulations, or research. In high school, students may also use devices for office productivity such as spreadsheets, as well as the activities mentioned.
Meet Stu and Dent, two typical high school students. Stu comes from a pretty great home where he's got access to a smartphone, tablet, and laptop, all the tools he could ever need. Dent's family just can't afford that right now. Luckily, Stu and Dent earn a class with a laptop cart. But because there are only 10 computers in that cart, Stu and Dent have to share each computer with at least 4 other students. That just doesn't work. Although students work in groups, those without their hands on the computer just disappear from the lesson. Stu and Dent are in the same small group for a project. Stu has this great idea for the project and wants to use his smartphone, tablet, and laptop on the new school wireless. But when he tries to connect his personal equipment, he's blocked from the school Wi-Fi. Stu wonders how he can get access to the internet on his devices at his favorite coffee shop, but not at school. Back in class, he must power down his devices and rely on only those few class machines. And hopefully, he'll be one of the lucky few to get access. Of course, because Stu has so much access to technology at home, he's a whiz at it. So guess who jumps to the group's aid to get the project done? Stu! And again, everyone else just fades away. But what if Stu could use his own devices? There's a new push for BYOD, Bring Your Own Device, where Stu could get internet access at school with his tablet, and his classmates could use their smartphones, you know they've got them, or even a personal laptop. And now Dent can have that much needed access to the school computer from the laptop cart. Now no one disappears. So let's put a big dent in the digital divide. Provide for the students that really need our help while helping students that have personal access learn how to use those devices to be productive, lifelong 21st century learners.
David Werlick states, "We are now educating students for a world that we cannot clearly describe." A study by Beswick and Campbell in 2010 questions what the best way to teach technologically savvy children of today. One way that has been suggested is through interacting with others to build knowledge. Mobile technology such as smartphones and iPads allow students and teachers to collaborate through open internet access. BYOD has been used as an avenue for meeting the needs of diverse learners. It can encourage students to think independently and critically, transform learning as technology can be used to leverage student inquiry, personalize learning, and promote authentic assessment. It can also promote inquiry-based learning as students present their learning using various multimedia. Studies show us a majority of students own or have access to smartphones, iPads, and other technologies that enable them to access the internet. Technology-enhanced learning combined with social media for educational purposes will be important for today's students to enhance knowledge, creativity, collaboration, and innovation in the classroom, and to take these skills when they join the workforce. Van Welsener's 2012 ponders the question whether BYOD programs improve student learning. Most educators will tell you that technology enhances the classroom and improves learning. Some components of the No Child Left Behind Act can be fulfilled when educators ensure that each student is integrating technology across the curriculum. Some benefits of BYOD are that students are usually experts in their own personal device, and they are able to customize it to meet their learning needs. Students can use their device to learn anywhere at any time, which increases collaboration. Personally owned devices are usually more up-to-date with the latest software than school-owned devices. The BYOD program highlights the shifting of roles for teachers in a technology-driven classroom. Teachers are moving toward becoming facilitators in learning. With BYOD, teachers can take full advantage of common features that are found in most mobile devices. This includes data organization tools, web-based applications for classroom polling and quick tests, audio for podcasting and radio broadcasts, or video for creating multimedia products. Other uses of mobile devices include QR codes, digital storytelling, language learning, and probe attachments for measuring data. New technologies are constantly emerging, making BYOD a useful long-term solution for technology integration. With every benefit comes a risk. Implementing BYOD in the classroom may become a status symbol for students, causing a digital divide between the haves and have-nots. Parents may not be happy with the idea of paying for mobile devices for schools, and students may be more distracted while using technology. Mobile devices offer unlimited access to the internet, but there may be times when students require an actual computer to complete assignments. How will students access these files that are not supported on their mobile device? The logistics of BYOD require time and planning from school staff. Questions to consider may include: how and where will students charge devices? How will devices be secured when not in use? What if students cannot bring a device? BYOD will impact the network infrastructure of schools. Will the network be able to handle the large number of devices all at once? Will the network be reliable? How will you ensure enough bandwidth? Implementing this type of program requires ongoing communication between parents, staff, and students. Are parents involved in the planning and decision-making process? BYOD requires educators to redesign their curriculum to take full advantage of mobile devices. How will teachers be supported as they learn more about the program? Do students know about netiquette and internet safety? What about teachers who choose not to participate? BYOD brings forth security concerns, including data protection. How will you protect student information? Will students be protected from inappropriate sites? Teaching students about ethical use of information is very important. For example, teaching students how to acknowledge resources and respect copyrights and licenses are skills which need to be taught prior to BYOD use. Media ethics and law provide a range of questions and resources concerning copyright, intellectual property rights, open access, and freedom of information. According to Petrina 2007, academic freedom for teachers refers to the freedom to teach without interference or censorship. University teachers have the right to free expression and the option to choose course content, as well as the teaching methods. For elementary schools teachers, academic freedoms are eroding, and this is not clear. Having ownership and rights over course organization and structures does not clarify what user rights the student or teacher has. Is BYOD a personal pedagogical approach, or should it be taught as a separate subject? The BYOD framework models the goals of media education, which, according to Hobbs and Jensen 2009, is to acquire competencies which reflect cognitive, emotional, and social skills. This is inclusive of using text, tools, and technologies to create, engage, and collaborate and share learning. How have educators joined the learning revolution? What does BYOD really look like in schools? Forsyth County Schools have created an acceptable use policy and implemented the BYOD initiative in their schools. Each school was able to decide upon the rules and regulations about how and when the devices would be used. This school district is finding that the increased number of technology has brought forth unexpected issues which require head teachers to facilitate learning. The school's vision has been to use classroom technology to engage students in asking questions and choosing tools to facilitate real-world problem solving. To keep up with the growing demand for technology while maintaining their traditionally low per-student spending, the district decided to implement a BYOD initiative for all schools in the district. To this date, 100% of the schools are participating in the BYOD program, with an average of 35% of classrooms in each school fully engaged. With the network being able to handle the large number of student devices, the district then took measures to ensure its own security. To protect the network from viruses and other possible issues, the school established 2 SSIDs that are accessed by unauthenticated network users. The school also provided professional development on teaching and classroom management to effectively integrate mobile technology into the curriculum. Another success story comes from Oak Hills local school district in Ohio. They believed that technology would help prepare high school students for work in the 21st century world. To add to this cause, the school district decided to create a virtual desktop system which could be accessed anywhere through student devices. This saved the district $1.2 million, which goes to show that BYOD programs are not only great ways to save money, but that money could also be used elsewhere for education. One of the school goals was to embed technology into the curriculum and utilize an LMS system to provide access to learning partners, as well as explore the appropriate use of technology in and out of the classroom. With every plan comes challenges, and like many schools, Oak Hills was facing budget cutbacks. The district's goal was to deliver anytime, anywhere learning to all students, but buying new laptops for each student was not an option. In order to fix this problem, the BYOD initiative was suggested to reduce ongoing costs and maximizing the number of devices. The school had an IT team which took care of all the challenges which arose. For instance, an acceptable use policy was also established to communicate guidelines for using devices at school. Students and staff were required to sign off on the policy prior to use. The main benefit was more student engagement, which meant learning was increasing while the district costs were decreasing. Policy considerations. Schools often wonder whether a new policy needs to be formed before implementing BYOD. Most schools find that existing policies already in place address new situations presented by BYOD. In other cases, revisions may need to be made to existing policies to include mentions of digital citizenships and personal devices. Possible policy considerations within a BYOD model could include equity of access, responsible use of personal devices, bandwidth for students, and BYOD readiness in schools and school authorities. Digital citizenship. To learn about digital citizenship, students participate in lessons and activities about its importance designed by their teachers. Students need guidance from educators to understand and appreciate digital opportunities and responsibilities as they learn how to communicate, publish, and interact online, such as expressing ideas and receiving feedback via wikis, blogs, and texting, exploring new roles through online interactions, accessing resources within different communities of learning, and having online conversations to gain deeper understandings of global and local issues. According to K-12 Blueprint Canada, the following checklist can be used as a guide when implementing a BYOD initiative in the classroom. Number 1. What is your acceptable use policy? When can students use devices? What are they using it for? How will devices impact my teaching? How often should I use them? Number 2, digital citizenship. Do my students know about internet safety? What about netiquette? Number 3, classroom management. What procedures will I put into place? Number 4, technology trends. How can I keep up? Number 5, communications. How will parents be informed? FIPPA, also known as Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act. Think you are ready to implement BYOD? It is important that educators are aware of the risks and benefits of BYOD. By being aware, educators, parents, and students can make valuable decisions and take precaution. According to BC's Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act, the top 3 risks are security, privacy, and access. Privacy continues to rank high among the biggest challenges facing educators, particularly for Canadian educators. BC's FIPPA has had a review and it still remains more strict than other Canadian provinces. Many educators have called for another review of this act as they feel it limits what they currently are able to do within their classroom and argue that the act does not reflect the shift in our current educational paradigm. Technology alone will not improve learning. The BYOD initiative relies on the right instruction and pedagogy. If educators are passionate about engaging students and wanting them to learn, this may be a route for them to take. Mobile devices are everywhere today and their numbers are still growing. It is estimated that there will be 192 million smartphone users by 2016. Carter, a grade 12 student at Springbank Community High School in Rocky View High School Division, sits down in his first period biology class. As his peers trickle in, he opens his laptop. He knows from reviewing the class site on Moodle from home that the essential question for today's class centers on the ethics of stem cell research. He opens the Google Doc he shared last night to see what feedback and contributions his peers made to these questions. His group will be asking the researchers from the University of Alberta these questions over Skype in class. His best friend Brock sits down on the desk next to him and asks him how he studied for the social studies performance assessment they have in period 2. Carter explains that he mostly watched the videos on YouTube because he found the text too difficult, and as he had taken adequate notes, he did not review the teacher's podcasts most posted in Moodle. Brock tells him that he cannot decide between creating a photo essay or the mind mapping option. Carter is sure he is going to produce an audiocast as he finds it easier to express his thoughts verbally. The bell rings and Mr. Lawrence starts the synchronous part of their class. Anytime, any place, any path, any pace learning is the norm for Carter, Brock, and any other students at Springbank Community High School. In this case, made possible by one-to-one personal devices. How will you inspire your students and engage them in 21st century learning? Thank you.